Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be reviewing the next German battleship, that being Bayern. This is the last World War I era German battleship, and the next one will be one of the more modern fast battleships, but today we're focusing on Bayern. So, what are some qualities about Bayern? Well, she has pretty good secondaries. She also has 15-inch guns, just like Queen Elizabeth and Warspite, so they have the capability of overmatching. She has a decent long-range anti-aircraft defense and some pretty good maneuverability. But there's a lot more drawbacks that and you can actually tell right now. So let's take a look at that. Only 51,600 health, so pretty small health pool. Torpedo resistance is only 20%, also pretty low. 350 millimeters of armor maximum, that's what, 14 inches? The belt is about 12. You're not going to be citadeled, but the amount of chunk damage you take is no laughing matter. There are instances where I do so much chunk damage that half the health is immediately gone. I get like 25,000 damage on it. And you can only take 2 or 3 of those salvos before you're sunk. Now, most of the armor is on the barbettes, it looks like, and the gun faces. That's pretty standard for battleships. It also does have that turtleback armor scheme, as you can see, to help shells just bounce off the citadel instead of penetrating it. It does work to, like I said, decrease the number of citadels. I don't think I've actually citadeled a Bayern, but it doesn't negate chunk damage. Also, you still have a huge casemate deck where you can just unload into and do massive amounts of damage. You have 380 millimeter guns or 15-inch guns, so we now have effective guns, not 12 or 11-inch. We go straight to 15. These guns want to be good, but they are really not. The shell velocities are okay, but the shell angle and the dispersion are actually trash. This ship is good against cruisers, and that is pretty much it. I find I struggle quite a bit when I face battleships with her. You actually have to get pretty close to other battleships to be effective, and that's only when your secondaries are used. I'm pretty sure that your casemates fire armor piercing and your secondaries, which are your HE spamming secondaries, your 4-inchers, which you actually have quite a few, fire high explosive. I haven't played this ship in a while, mainly because it's not really that good. But we'll find out in game. Gun range is 16.6 kilometers. Will you be able to accurately hit anything at that range? Probably not, but it's still there. Secondaries shoot out to 5 kilometers. I do think I have the secondary. Yeah, I have the secondary buff applied as well as the AA. So my guns or secondaries will shoot out a little bit farther, which you really do need a full secondary build. However, I didn't go with that because your main guns can't hit anything regardless. So I have her focus for accuracy. You can go full secondary build, but honestly, I feel like the little bit of extra accuracy you can put into her does really make a difference. Since this is, I believe it's, yeah, matchmaking tier 6? Close enough. It's 5.6, so it'll be tossed into tier 5 and tier 6 games. But both of those tiers have carriers. Your AA damage, you have really good long range AA. And mid and close is absolute trash again as well. And it's all those dual purpose 4-inchers on top that give you that good AA defense, or at least at longer ranges. But yeah, besides that, your AAs, once they get past that, there's not much to stop aircraft from attacking you. And with your terrible torpedo resistance, you are very susceptible to torpedoes, and you don't have a lot of health either. So honestly, there's a lot of negative sides to this ship. Speed, 25 knots. She's not necessarily slow by any means. She might be actually the higher range of speed in terms of capital ships, but still that's 25 knots. It's not exactly blistering speed either. You have a normal heal and repair, and yeah, she's a pretty run-in-the-mill battleship with a lot of weaknesses and not a lot to show for it. But let's toss her into game and see what we can do. Alright, here ourselves a game. We have one carrier, 5 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 1 destroyer. Let's see here. Bayern, Congo, Iron Duke, Tiger, and a New York. So they're all different. I can easily take on Iron Duke and Tiger New York and Bayern with secondaries, or at least in secondary range. Congo might be a little bit harder. And then I'm not worried about the Königsbergs and Lutski. I don't think my secondaries can actually engage her either, because they're still the German secondaries, so they engage the superstructure and not the main hull of the ship, which helps for penetration, but on smaller vessels means that you just go right over the top of them. We saw that yesterday and the day before with Kaiser and Koenig. So I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied at this time, so keep that in mind. This is not the base ship. I'm pretty sure stock Congo speed is 25 knots, so I should be able to pull around her without hitting her. As you can see, your maneuverability is pretty decent. That goes back to your small speed, or size, and low speed. So dodging shells and torpedoes is something that she's good at, and she has enough armor to bounce shells as well. But you just don't have enough health to actually go full on brawling. I'm trying to get past these ships here. As you can see, the size difference between Iron Duke and this one. Between Queen Mary and, or not Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth and Bayern, both are the same tier. Both have 8 15-inch guns, and both are relatively good in maneuverability, whereas Queen Elizabeth has better AA and accuracy. Bayern has better secondaries and high explosive pen, which Queen Elizabeth does not get high explosive to begin with. So those shells missed, obviously, right there. Something like that is good. Between the two, I would definitely pick Queen Elizabeth. So you can see the shell velocity is pretty good, but the accuracy is all over the place. I only hit once. Now the shells hurt when they hit, that's without a doubt, but you have to hit something first. Alright, and I'm pretty sure you can get some good deck penetrations if you go from range. So let's try it on this Bayern. And remember, I have the accuracy module slotted as well as working on the crew skill. And this is the accuracy you get with both of those applied. So you can only imagine what it is without them. So I need to get closer. There's nothing on this side, so we're just going to rush in. Now I would choose Queen Elizabeth going back to my previous conversation, choose Queen Elizabeth over Bayern for many different reasons. A, I really enjoy the fact that she is an AA beast. Her guns have the ability to overmatch anything and everything they come across. And though she may not have the best secondaries, she still has some. And her speed is still pretty decent. Her armor is also pretty good as well. I just don't find a downside with Queen Elizabeth. Alright, so as you can see, our secondaries were starting to engage the Mutski there. But kind of went over the ship. But I was already aware of that. So now, okay, we're good. Secondaries are engaging this Bayern. And we're getting some good damage with our 15 inches of guns as well. Now, German battleships are notorious for setting multiple fires with their secondaries. I really don't know what the secondary fire chance is, but it's got to be at least 50%, I would think. I mean, that's at least what it feels like. But as you can see there, that was what, 11,000 damage just with the front turrets, and wow, just in a matter of seconds, that Bayern is absolutely sunk. Secondaries focusing on their work on the Tiger and the Iron Duke. Gonna pop a heal. Let's see. I should be able to go through the nose of Iron Duke. We'll see. Yep, right through the nose. Or at least mostly. As you can see, the secondaries are working over Tiger pretty well. That's a pretty flat broadside, so I should have no problem going through the sides of that. Congo is trying to get some broadside shots on me, but let's just go through her nose instead. I mean, we're kind of in the middle here, which is not the best, honestly, but we'll see. Right. I need to start taking out targets here. Look at that damage on New York. I don't know what the exact number was, but that was pretty impressive. Alright, so Iron Duke is down. Secondary can keep working over Königsberg. Let me see if I can take out this Tiger. It's kind of a weird angle. I think some will ricochet, but I should have enough to get a couple pens. And that should be Königsberg. There we go. Not going to get another salvo into that Tiger before she goes around. So let's go back to the New York. We've shot down 4 aircraft so far, which is actually pretty decent as well. New York is angling in, but we don't care. We'll go right through the nose, at least with half the shells. Just because you can overmatch doesn't mean you're always going to. There are instances like there where you still have the chance to ricochet, but you have the chance to go through the nose as well. Just depends on the accuracy. The secondaries are going to town. I have almost 500 secondary hits right now. So you can see how the secondaries are pretty good on the ship. And if you plan on fighting at ranges like this, then I would actually go for full secondary build instead of accuracy, because you don't need accuracy at that kind of range. I'm going to switch over to high explosive because obviously I don't need armor piercing for a light carrier with no armor. And the secondary is going to go to town on her too. Now let's do one salvo of high explosive, switch back to armor piercing, and work on the Tiger a bit more. So double fire. Couple more secondary hits at the Tiger. Alright, so let's see if we can finish both of these ships up. I'm going to stop here and wait for Shoho to come around the corner. And also send some more armor piercing downrange at Tiger for a hopeful another kill. There we go. Shoot down some more aircraft. We don't have a fighter, so our AA is what's going to do the most damage. Pop another heal. Wait for our secondaries to clear, but we're going to get over the fire anyways. And let's see how we did. That was actually a pretty good game. Alright, so we had 256,000 damage with a matchmaking tier, technically 6, but 5.6 overall. 5 ships sunk, 76 shell hits, 9 aircraft shot down, 9 fires, 33 defended caps, 507 secondary hits, over 6,500 base XP. Alright, so high explosive did almost 10,000 damage. That was that one salvo at Shoho, or what was it, Zoiho? No, I think it was Shoho. Yeah, Shoho. And then a whole bunch of armor piercing for 112,000 damage. Fires did 44,000, and secondaries did 89,000 damage, almost 90,000. The high explosive dual purpose 4-inch did 34,000, and the armor piercing casemate, I believe they're 5.9s, did 55,500 damage. So you can see how she might be good as a secondary brawler. And actually, I'm probably going to switch that out right now, because if I'm going to be at that kind of range, I don't need accuracy. I'm going to hit the ship one way or another, and most of the time my shell's going to go through the armor because of its large caliber. So full secondary build, let's see here. I don't think it'll tell me. So let's say, okay, so 5. I think my secondaries should be going out to about 7 kilometers now, which is actually really good at this tier, and it's also the same as what Warspites can go out to. Unlike Koenig, you do have to grind Bayern, but it's not all bad. Like I said, she is a pretty okay-ish ship in certain areas. There are a lot of sides of her that other ships excel in, such as AA defense or armor or health. Well, maybe not armor, but accuracy, I should say. But overall, Bayern is not a terrible ship, and she can have quite a few games where she is doing pretty decent. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow while we first go over the first fast German battleship, that being Gneisenau. And this is a ship that you need to know what you're doing with, but we'll go over that tomorrow. So again, thank you for watching, and take care.